Hi everybody, PJ Kwong from CBC Sports here with Maria Mountain from Revolution Sport Conditioning. So Maria, we're here, it's an early Sunday morning, two separate workouts, first with Tessa Virtue, then with Scott Moir. You've told me that the workouts are sport specific. Can you elaborate a little bit about that, about figure skaters?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we look at what Scotty and Tessa need to do on the ice. And so, what specific flexibility do they need? What muscle imbalances do they get because of their patterns of movement? It's not symmetrical, so we need to work to counteract some of those habits over time so that they're nice and symmetrical when they move. Then we need to build up strength and power. And it's an aesthetic sport too, so we can't just build up that raw bulk and strength like we could maybe in a football player. We need to find just the amount of strength they need to do the movements that they need to do quickly, explosively, gracefully, and make it look all very, very simple.
So tell me, is there a bit of a difference between exercises for Scott as the lifter versus Tessa as the liftee?
Yeah, absolutely. So with Tessa, we don't want her to have an ounce of muscle that she doesn't need.
Okay.
So she just needs just what she needs, and then we stop. And we need to keep her, lean and looking just so beautiful like that, but still have the strength and the power to work with Scott. Scott needs a little bit more of the brute strength, again, so that he can do those lifts and make it look very effortless. He can't, okay, now I'm gonna lift, and drive it up. It needs to look just
smooth.
Yeah.
So what Scott told me is, I said to him he looked to be a bit sort of fuller through the body right now than he is, and he referred to himself as off-season Scott. What's the difference between off-season Scott and on-season Scott, and how is it reflected in their exercise routines?
So off-season Scott, and with his early exercise, we're just actually starting the third phase of his off-season just this week and into next week, but we want to get his mobility going. First, you saw us work a lot on mobility and stability today, and then we're going to build up his strength, so make him very, very strong and stable. So strong even when he's not in a balanced position. But then as we get closer into competitive season, we'll change his program to include some more high-intensity interval-type training, so where he's using his strength but getting his heart rate up, and that will lean him out a bit too. So we want him to be very, very strong, but again, not bulky and husky.
So Tessa told me that they bring you videos of their new lifts.
Mm-hmm.
What's the purpose behind that?
So they try to describe it to me, but until I see it, then I can see, okay, well, so this is how they're positioned. These are the forces that are at play. These are the muscles they're going to use. Oh, if we can get better hamstring flexibility, that's going to make it easier to do this lift. So, I can just take what I see and apply some of that academic background to it and come up with exercises that will specifically help them with those lifts.
And is a training regimen for a figure skater very different from, let's say, a training regimen for a hockey player?
Yeah, I mean, the basic elements are there. The basic structure is there. You still need to cycle a training program and work on, mobility, stability, strength, stamina, speed, all those elements. But the way you put it together is very, very different. So it's, it's the difference between cooking Italian food and cooking Thai food. There's specific ingredients. Some of the techniques are the same, but the way you put it together is very different.
And so here in London, Ontario, they say that they're about 2.5 hours away from their home base of Canton, Michigan. So your goal, they work with you about 2 times a week, is that correct?
Yeah.
And then what do they do in the intervening 5 days?
So we'll give them workouts that they do. So you saw me writing down their workouts and what weights they use in reps. So then before they leave, say, okay, well, on Tuesday you're going to do workout number 3, and on Thursday you'll do workout number 4 with this interval workout, and then I'll see you on the weekend. So they know exactly what to do in the intervening days, and then they have flexibility training that they have to do on their own every day as well.
So tell me, for all those skating fans that are sitting at home thinking about skating, which of course feels a long way away, anything that the average person can do to start to move?
I think one of the biggest things, and I wish I had something really awesome, but I think one of the biggest things is improving that base first. So I think a lot of people get some kind of inspiration, whatever it comes from. They think, I'm going to get in shape, like today. And they go and they might run, 5 miles, and then, and then my knee hurt, and this hurt, and it was so hard. And and then they feel like, oh, that's just not for me. That doesn't work for me. I tried it once. So I think, start doing some stretches, get out for whatever you can do. And I always have people pick a goal that is a no-brainer. Hey, can you go for a walk for 10 minutes 3 times a week? Yeah, anybody can do that. Okay, let's start there. And then if your goal or your picture is, I want to be able to run 5K, well then maybe after a couple weeks of doing that 10-minute walk 3 times a week, we'll jog for 2 minutes, walk for 2 minutes, and start there. So, think about your flexibility, think about your posture, and then start with something that's a no-brainer for you so that you get that taste of success. You're like, you know what, I can do this, and I see I'm doing it. So that's probably my best advice.
So Maria Mountain, whether it's advising Olympic champions or the regular person, start small, but aim big.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for talking to me.
You're welcome.